Maybe you know what road rage is. If not, let me explain it to you. So road rage is when you're driving and you know there's another car on the road and maybe they go too fast or they come over without putting their signal on, and it makes you really, really mad. Like you want to beep the horn at them, you yell, all that stuff. I have a friend who is the worst at this all the time. Anytime she drives, like she beeps at least 3 cars. Like they're just going a little bit over the speed limit, or they get over and they're like way past us. There's no reason to beep the horn, but she still finds a reason to beep the horn. She's really bad road rage. And maybe you don't drive, so you haven't experienced this road rage. But I bet you've experienced hallway rage. Now, hallway rage is when you're walking down the hallway at school or maybe in the grocery aisle or somewhere else, and somebody just doesn't see you and they accidentally bump into you. And this causes you to trip, or it causes you to drop all your stuff on the floor or something, and it makes you so mad. Why didn't they see me? Why, like, this is gonna ruin my whole day. I dropped all my books. Now all my papers are wrong. I don't understand why this has to happen to me. And it makes you so mad. I bet everyone has experienced some type of hallway rage. Now, not all anger looks the same. Okay, maybe when you get angry, you don't want to hit somebody or yell at them. Maybe you just kind of silent treatment. Like, they're canceled, I don't like her, I'm never talking to her again, or I'm not talking to my parents right now, I'm so mad at them. And that's not the healthiest way to move on either, because if there's no conversation and your anger is causing you to give them the silent treatment, you're not really in control, your anger is. Now, I do want to pause here and say there is such a thing as healthy anger, okay? This kind of being angry at injustice or immorality. I know a lot of us have been angry at some things going on lately in America and in our world, this injustice that makes us mad. And if handled correctly, that anger can be good. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about this destructive anger, something that makes anger take control of you, and you hurt people's feelings, or you just want to be, mad, angry, you want to hurt somebody. It's a destructive anger. Now, I want y'all to take a second in your small group, or maybe if you're watching this alone, pause right here and ask yourself this question. What would be some clues or cues that this destructive anger is about to take over? Let's read James 4:1-2 together. What is causing the quarrels and fights among you? Don't they come from the evil desires at war within you? You want what you don't have, so you scheme and kill to get it. You're jealous of what others have, but you can't get it, so you fight and wage war to take it away from them. Yet you do not have what you want because you do not ask God for it. Now let's look at this verse real quick. It's talking about anger. It's talking about you being angry. Maybe you're jealous and that makes you angry. You want something that maybe your sibling has or your friend has. So you scheme to get it. You think, okay, how do I get this? I gotta be really mean to them and maybe they'll share their ice cream with me, or I gotta be really mean to them so then my parents will see that I deserve an Apple Watch too, or something like that, where you're just so jealous so you think you have to be mean and your anger is taking control of you. So just like it says, you're jealous of what others have, but you can't get it, so you fight and wage war to take it away from them. That's what anger does to us. It controls us if we let it. But the problem, the reason that anger takes over, it's not because your brother is annoying you, or it's not because some outside situation. This anger is controlling you because you have let it control you. The problem isn't someone else. We have to be willing to admit that part of that problem is me. I want to wage war. I'm angry. I let my anger get that bad. It's the root of this frustration and anger. We have to be willing to admit that it is us. It's like whenever my sisters and I had to clean the house, and my mom would give us each 3 assignments, 3 chores that we had to get done. And I always thought my chores were much harder than my siblings. So I would be really mean to them, and I'd tell my mom, it's not fair, mine are so much harder than theirs. And I would be so angry, and I'd let that anger take hold. But if I would have said, no anger, you can't take control of me, and said, Mama, I'd love some help with my chores, I bet she would have helped me. But that's what anger does to us. It moves us to this place of just, we don't have control anymore, our anger does, and we let it get that way. Owning that you can be part of the problem stops anger from owning you. Take a second, pause here, and ask this question. Have you experienced people around you blaming their anger on others instead of owning their own emotions? Why do you think it can be easier to believe that anger is caused by something or someone else instead of something inside of us? Let's take a second, and I want to go over a couple of scenarios where anger tells us to do something, but God tells us to do something else. So anger says, your friend is talking behind your back, so you have to start a really embarrassing rumor about them to get back at them. That's what anger wants you to do. But God says that instead of starting that rumor, you can go to your friend and talk it through and say, why are you doing this? Why are you talking behind my back? And that way you can come to a peaceful and forgiving conclusion with your friend. Anger says you have to hit your brother because he's being so annoying. God says that maybe instead of hitting your brother, you can have a conversation with him and come up with a better way to communicate when he's being annoying so your anger doesn't take control of you. Stop here and ask this question. How does your anger control you? What does anger say, and what does God say in contrast to that? Even if you're not the whole problem with the situation, being a human means admitting that you can be part of the problem. Think back to that first question. What are some cues or clues that let you know anger, this destructive anger, is about to take control? What did you say to that? And how, when we identify those cues and clues, we can flip the script, and instead of letting our anger take control, we can take control of our anger and come to a much more positive conclusion. Remember, owning that you can be part of the problem stops your anger from owning you. You can have control of your emotions instead of them controlling you. I believe in you guys. I love you guys. Have a great week.